In this part, we're going to learn about charts and graphs. I made my screen a little bigger. Hopefully this helps. In cell C2, go ahead and put the word Skittles. In cell C3, put red. Underneath that, yellow, then green, and purple. In cell D3, put 4, 6, 8, and 10. Since Skittles is going to be our title, we're going to highlight from C over to D, and we're going to go up to the merge and center. Now what we're going to do is we are going to create the graph out of the information we have. So I'm going to move my mouse to the middle of C3. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag down to 10 so that I have this information highlighted. Once I have that highlighted, I'm going to go to the Insert tab at the top. And then I'm going to go over here. Now we're mostly going to use the column and the bar graphs for what we have to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the column graphs. It gives you some options here. You have a 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional. Ooh, that's nice. Well, that's nice. It gives you a preview. At this point, you can see whether you did something right or wrong. But I'm going to go, I always use the 3D column graph, so I'm just going to go ahead and with that. Now at this point you have some options. You can either resize it and put it nice and snug underneath, so it looks nice like that. Zoom out just a little bit. So it looks nice like that. Or the other option we have, now I still have my chart selected, and the way you know that you have your chart selected is you have sizing handles. Notice there's a square in the corner here. There's kind of a square or a circle in the, I think it's a square in the center, and then on the other corner. You'll have this all around the chart. You know it's selected when you see those sizing handles. Now, you will do a lot of charts where they have to be on their own page. Now their own page is not the same as a spreadsheet. Now this is a spreadsheet where all these lines are, where we input our information. When we move our graph or chart to its own location or to its own page, it means there's not going to be any lines, no spreadsheet whatsoever. So let's take a look at what that looks like. I'm going to go up here. And sorry, I just want to look at that. We're going to go up here to where it says chart location. Become very familiar with this icon. You will use this icon a lot throughout the rest of Excel. Once you choose chart location, it's already defaulted here where it says object in. That's what we have right now. So there's no point in having that or using that. What we want is a new sheet. So we're going to choose this, and at this point you can also give it a name. We don't need to really give it a name at this time. We're going to click OK. I want you to be aware there are no lines. There's not a worksheet. I did not copy and paste this to a different worksheet. I did not move this to a different worksheet. The chart moved locations, so it's totally on its own island here. Once it's on its own island, or on its own sheet, location, however you want to say it, now you have some choices and things that you can do to it. I'm actually going to go up to Format. Oh, no. I'm going to actually keep it on Design. And we have some choices here. Okay, what I want you to concentrate most on will be add chart elements. This is going to be your friend. You're going to use this quite often when you do charts. If you click on this, it's going to give you a drop-down menu, and we have a lot of information here. To begin with, chart title. Now you have two ways you can do this. Notice you have above chart or center overlay, and it kind of gives you or shows you on the screen, notice how it's moving, what it will look like, whichever option you choose. I'm going to leave it where it is, and I can go in here and change it. So I'm going to change it to Skittles. And let's make this a little bit bigger. I'm just making it size bigger so that you can see it. You don't need to actually change the size on your screen. But what you can do is you can do things in here that you would do in Word. You can change font style, you can change font size, which we need to do, and you can either choose a number or you can just kind of do this until you see it's to where you want it to be. You can also change the color of your word or words or whatever it may be. Okay, so that's the text part of it. Also, I'm going to make mine a little smaller here. Oops, that's a little too small for you. Okay, also, when you click one time on the column graph, or the columns here, notice you have sizing handles here. Oops. My computer wants to do its own thing. It selects all of them. When you click one time, it selects all of them. At this point, you could add in color to all of them. So for instance, I'm going to go to Format, I'm going to go to Shape Fill, and let's say we're going to make them all yellow. Okay, well that doesn't make any sense because we have the colors here. So what I'm going to do is click one more time on red, and I'm going to fill that red. And then of course you have green. I'll fill that green, and purple. Make that purple. Good. So you have those options. Also, you have this nice white background here. You can do a shape fill on here. Now, there are some other things you can do, and this goes with other things on the chart. You have gradient fill, which you can mesh colors together. You have texture. You could put some goofy texture background to it. Just make sure it's readable, or you can read it still. It's not always easy to read when you have a texture background. Or you could always do just a plain fill in the back. Also the lines, I think that's the inside part. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. And then, yep, there's the lines. And you should be able to do the lines also. Like if you wanted them maybe orange. Yeah, that kind of stands out a little bit. Anyways, my point is, everything can be changed, manipulated, however you want to say it. Oops. Okay, with my words down here, notice I clicked on it and I have a box around it and it's got some sizing handles here. You click on the Home tab and then you can make the words bigger. And assume you can do the fill. Yeah, you can do a lot of things. You can get crazy. Okay, anyways, that's pretty much how you do your charts and your graphs, how you manipulate them. Something else, let's take a look at. I'm going to click just in this area up here so I get my chart tools. I'm going to go to Design, and there are a couple other things you need to know yet. We did the chart title. Now a chart title is always defaulted. It's always there. So whether you click inside the box or come over here to this drop down box, it's up to you. Let's look at data labels. Now it's always defaulted with no data labels. You have some options here of showing the data labels, or they're called data callouts. You have more data label options. You can play with that. But the point is that there are assignments where you will have to show the data labels here. Okay, let's go back and take a look. And access titles. You will have horizontal. Now notice at the bottom of your graph, it says access title. Then primary, now notice on the left side of your chart it says access title. At some point you will have to put in horizontal and vertical access titles. And that is where you will find it right here. And a legend. Now you will have some charts where you don't need a legend at all. If you see a legend, it'll be a box. Well, our legend right now is the red, yellow, green, purple. But with other information that you have, it may say Series 1. If you have a legend that says Series 1, get rid of it. It's just a default. It's not helping. It's not adding to the chart information. If you have a legend that's adding to the chart information, then yeah, you keep it. And you don't have to have it at the bottom. You can have it at the right. You could have it at the top, the left. I mean, it's really up to you. Okay, now since we're on the chart, you're maybe wondering, well, how do I get back to my spreadsheet? At the bottom here, you have tabs. If you click on sheet 1, it'll bring you back to your original sheet. And again, if you need to go back to the chart, you can click on your chart here.